Welcome to the deep dive. So we're jumping into your materials today on Europe's weather risks, specifically for the end of July 2025. That's the 26th to the 31st. What really jumped out at me straight away is, well, just how dynamic things look. Our goal here is to cut through that complexity and, give you the clearest possible picture of these heat waves and storms.
Yeah, and it's fascinating, isn't it? Because what you've pulled together shows these aren't just random weather events. They really highlight Europe's climate changing incredibly fast. It's warming more than twice the global average rate. We're kind of seeing a new normal emerge, maybe quicker than we thought.
Okay, let's get into that then. This strong heat wave signature for Western and Central Europe. Your sources are talking potential highs over 40 degrees Celsius. That sounds intense, recalling those really extreme temperatures we saw recently, Portugal hitting 46.6 or Germany and Poland getting up to 40. Is this like the new benchmark for summer?
Well, that's the core question the materials raise, isn't it? Extreme heat. It's often called that silent killer. And that's not just rhetoric. These reports really hammer home how it challenges our basic assumptions about safety in summer. Look at Spain, for instance. You mentioned the figures. An estimated 1,180 heat-related deaths.
In just 2 months, yeah.
Exactly. In just 2 months last summer, it's staggering. It shows a real vulnerability, Our health systems maybe aren't fully geared up for this kind of sustained threat. And then there's the ripple effect. Massive stress on energy grids, some places seeing demand jump 14%. Transport gets disrupted. Even agriculture. Reports of melons literally cooking on the vine. And it adds up financially, too. The economic hit from heat waves alone in 2023, $45 billion. That's a huge figure.
Right, so it's not just uncomfortable, it's actively damaging across the board.
Precisely. It tells us our current ways of doing things, our infrastructure, our farming, they're just not quite aligned with this changing climate. There's a hidden cost to inaction there.
Okay, so we have this intense heat, but then your materials add another layer, right? Storms. Because even while the heat is the big story, you're flagging these risks of localized but intense storms, hail, heavy rain, even if the overall severe weather warnings are low. You included that Moscow example from July 21st, 2025. 91 millimeters of rain in 12 hours. That's incredible. Wettest day like that since the 1800s.
Yeah, and that specific event, it connects directly to the bigger climate picture.
Yeah.
It's quite straightforward, really. Warmer air just holds more moisture.
Okay.
So when it does rain, it comes down harder, more intensely. And here's the paradox the materials point out. Those heat waves we just talked about, they bake the ground solid.
Right, makes sense, like concrete.
Exactly. So the ground can't soak up the water. It just runs off, worsening flash floods. We've even seen reports of hail, massive hail, up to 10 centimeters across. Think of the damage that does.
Yeah, huge damage to cars, roofs, crops.
Absolutely. Property, agriculture, it's all vulnerable to these sudden, intense events.
So, with all these challenges, heat and storms intertwined, the big question for you, the listener, has to be, what do we do? Your sources seem clear that just reacting isn't cutting it anymore.
That's the absolute crux of it. The reports strongly suggest our old way of just responding after the fact, it's being overwhelmed. We fundamentally need to shift gears, move towards being proactive, towards adaptation. That means things like better early warning systems.
Like that UN initiative, Early Warning for All.
Exactly that one. Aiming for global coverage by 2027. Plus, we need proper heat health action plans in place, serious upgrades to urban drainage.
So the water has somewhere to go.
Precisely. And crucially, long-term investment in infrastructure that's genuinely climate resilient. Things like, permeable pavements, buildings designed for passive cooling.
Aligning with those bigger goals, like the EU wanting climate resilience by 2050.
That's the kind of ambition we need. It's a fundamental rethink.
Okay, so this deep dive, looking just at July's forecast, it really acts as a powerful snapshot, doesn't it? A reminder that the climate is changing, and fast. This forecast period, it's like a small window onto a much, much bigger challenge that we're all facing.
And make no mistake, the cost of failing to build this resilience, it will absolutely dwarf the cost of the investments we need to make now. So the real provocation here, the thought to leave you with is this. Looking at these insights, how will you play a part in this ongoing necessary adaptation wherever you are?